Hold on a second there, man. All right. All right, man. How's it going, brother, man? Good to meet, good to officially meet you, man. Good to officially meet with you.
I know we've been friends a long time. I've seen many of your interviews, and I just knew it's a matter of time till we end up talking, you know?
Yeah. And now you're with Alkalize to Realize too?
Yeah, we're coworkers.
We're coworkers. We're working with Lee Robert Molson, our producer.
Uh-huh.
And we're spreading the knowledge on best health, right?
Yeah, on the truth. Yes.
The truth.
Yes.
That's what we're about. We're about best health. We're about truth. What else? Yep. What else are we all about? Our group, man.
Our group. Oh man, it's well, Alkalize to Realize is about tuning into the body, you know, and tuning into the body as the healer. And it's really grounding when you accept that the body is the healer, and you kind of cease this external searching. We're always searching for the next big health thing, right? But what Alkalize to Realize, it wakes you up to the fact that our body is the healer, you know, and it's such a fascinating thing to know and to be a part of, right?
Amazing. Amazing. So powerful, man. So powerful. Awesome.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. Gerald, like we've known each other for a couple of years, maybe 2-3 years. We've been kind of bouncing around each other in the online world. It's very funny. I can't even remember how we might have initially met. I feel like it might have been through Harry Matadine.
Yeah, probably, most likely. Right? He's like a lightning rod. You know, because he's not afraid to talk about it so openly, right? When we're talking about the urine therapy, that is a guy that's out there. He's going to news networks. So, and me, I'm quiet about it. I'm discreet, you know. And so, but what he does is he brings us all together, the discreet ones and the outspoken ones, right?
And we all have a different purpose.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Every single one of us has a different purpose. We're all fractals. And we all deliver a certain different image.
A certain angle.
Perspective.
Right? Yeah. Yes. A certain perspective. And they're all important. They're all the different perspectives are very important, because we got a lot of people to wake up, right? So it's very important that we all do it in our own way, right? Like, you want to use YouTube videos, good. I want to use rap music, you know, like, use your talents and your tools to transmit the message. You know what I mean?
Use your passion.
Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter what that passion is. If you use the passion to transmit this light, it just, you know, it's going to have a better chance at resonating, you know, which is like, in the beginning, what we want to do is point our fingers and tell people this is right, this is wrong. And we run into roadblocks. We're like, why isn't anybody listening to me, right? But if instead I rise to my higher self and create the music or the dance that is an expression of my energy that came from the urine therapy, right? That people are going to want to know, okay, what are you doing? How are you doing this? What's going on? And they're going to be open to it, you know? So, but the thing I'm going through right now, it's just like, I can't get it out of my head. I'm bubbling forward about it. And you hit me up about it, which is the sexual energy thing. And it's
this is huge, man. This is really, really huge. This and another thing that I can't remember. I guess it was the sexual energy thing that I maybe linked with you first about, but then immediately fell in love with what you were talking about with Core Connect in the gym, with breath consciousness and diaphragm and core. This is exactly the same place that I'm coming to, because Gerald and I are both in the same sort of fitness and wellness space, I believe, Gerald.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So what do you do, man? Where do you do it? What do you do?
Yeah, so I'm lucky enough to work for a great small business owner. I teach group exercise. So I teach large groups of people, and basically, I'm a glorified cheerleader. I make exercise class fun and I make it entertaining. Yet I can make sure that you're safe and not getting injured. So it's a very particular thing that I do. I look at it as a show. I look at it as I'm putting on a show, and when you come, you're getting an experience, and you're gonna leave full of energy, and you're going to get a good workout. So basically what I'm doing is what I've always been doing, which is sharing that energy, and I've been blessed to learn so much from my boss. I've been at the same job for 7 years. And basically now I'm at this point where it's time to start my own business, which is why I admire what you're doing and I see what you're doing. And I want to be an online trainer. I want to serve more people, right? I want to be able to serve more people than just who can see me physically, right? That's kind of like the big dream, right? Is really expanding it.
Grow,
Yeah.
right? The universe is expanding. As you connect to the universal energy within you, you expand, you expand.
Man, true, yes. And so I've never gotten such a response that I'm getting now that I'm talking about things like semen retention and channeling the sexual energy. And it's kind of something that we've always been talking about, but now I'm getting it into words that I can explain it properly through the work of Mantak Chia, who kind of laid out the Eastern systems in English in books for us. With, um, books like this, the Secrets of the Tao, by Mantak Chia. What he's doing is he's giving me the words to put on the feelings that I've been feeling a long time. Because I'd practice semen retention, I'd practice meditation, I would have these crazy experiences, and all I would be able to explain it as is it was a crazy explosion, all right, in my brain, and it was an orgasm coming out of my pineal gland, reverberating down my body. And that's all I knew. But when I read this book, basically there are systems in place to allow you to build up to achieve that on command, achieve that experience on command. And with training and, with cleansing and training, you really get resensitized to this stuff. And you can't fake the funk with sexual energy. And that's why I ended up having to do this new thing called true sobriety, because what I was doing was trying to play with my sexual energy and get these experiences, but I was still playing with coffee, alcohol, weed, fast food, all those other things. And those drain your subtle energy regardless of what you think about it. And so I hit into a wall where I'm like, okay, I put myself in a position where I want to help people with their sexual energy, but I have these hangups. It's preventing me from getting there. So literally I put myself in a position where I have to grow. I have to get over these addictions if I want to help other people. I've been smoking weed for 15 years and I finally quit in March this month. This is the year that I put my foot down and I really changed my perspective of who I am. And that's kind of what happens when you start to dabble into the sexual energy thing. It starts to get you to love yourself, see yourself differently. Uh-oh. I lost you.
You lost me. I still got you. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. You're frozen. Straight frozen. Oh,
I'm
no,
here.
okay.
I'm here. I got you. I heard you the whole time. I just maybe couldn't see you, but.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Just you started freezing, but yeah. So like, I didn't expect that I would end up saying I'm gonna stop coffee, I'm gonna stop weed, I'm gonna stop alcohol. It seemed like that was so far away. It was like an opposite side of the universe, but something shifted in me so abruptly where basically all the new tools I've been learning throughout the years started to replace the old tools, right? And for the buffer period, there was a period where I'm doing the old things and the new things at the same time. Like I'm meditating, I'm drinking alcohol, I'm working out, I'm watching porn, and that buffer is so stressful, like just my whole 20s, right? And it's just funny. Like now I turned 30 and I'm just like, that's not who I am anymore. That was past.
How old are you, Gerald? How old are you?
I 30. Just turned 30 in 2018. So it's just like a big shift for me, where I can clearly see, look, that was the old me. The new me, I love myself.
I really love myself. Like, I'm turned on by myself. You know what I mean? I've never loved myself like that before. And so it's just making it, and it's something we've all heard before. Is
That's
that
so inspiring, brother. That's so inspiring. Those are such inspiring words. Like, those are affirmations of such value. Like, we have to say these things because it has to start as a thought. We want to love ourselves. And then it goes from thought, it goes to word. It has to go to word next. We got to think it. We want to intend it. We want to move towards it. We have to intend to move towards it. We have to intend it. And then we've got to speak it. We've got to speak it into our reality, because that's how we bring it from thought into word. It's the vibration of thought as it comes into physical reality, as it comes as a vibration, as sound. That's how thought comes into physical reality. We have to say it. And this is what accountability is. When you say it to somebody else, now you're accountable, because now I'm going to say, Gerald, how are you doing with this?
Yeah, it's powerful. And it's so powerful. I feel like my social media following is who I am the most real with. Because if I say any of this to any people I know in real life, I'm not going to get the same type of support at all. I'm going to get the opposite. I'm going to get like, what's wrong with porn? What's wrong with coffee? What's wrong with weed? And I'm going to get this pushback. So it got to the point where now I'm just tolerating when I'm outside, even with friends and family. I'm just like, I'm tolerating. I love you. I love you guys, you know, but I can't speak my heart, and I can speak my heart to my audience, you know, and it's just an interesting place to be, where I'm myself no matter where I'm at anymore, you know. And anytime, it's good to know that anytime I can turn on my phone and reach out to like-minded individuals who support me, you know.
Wow, man, that's cool, bro. Community, right? How important that is.
Makes it easier and easier to stick. And I like what you said about speaking to existence, because I've been thinking about quitting weed, coffee, and alcohol for longest. I've been thinking about it for years, right? But it took courage for me to start to talk about weed like it's in my past. Like, it took courage for me to even say, when I used to smoke. I never used to talk like that before. So you know that when the way I'm speaking about this subject matter changes, you know that something fundamentally changed in the way I see myself, in the way I view it, you know? And that's why I know that this is different than any other time ever, because before I would decide I'm going to make a step through logic and say, this is the next best step. I'm going to do this because I think this, right? This time it's purely a gut instinct. It's me acknowledging my gut response and saying, you know what, I'm done with this thing. And there's no thinking that needs to be thought about it. You know, it's just accepting my initial response, which is I'm moving on from it. You know,
we're all caught in addictions. Isn't that kind of the three-dimensional reality? That's how we kind of get through life. It's addictions to all sorts of things, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes. And becoming conscious of whatever those addictions are is kind of like the first step. And it's kind of a blessing to become conscious of it, right? It's like, it might feel painful to start to recognize your own patterns, but once you see something, you can act on it. You can move on it. Until you see it, it's over your head and it's just acting on you, right? And
something that's repeating itself in your life. Something that's repeating itself in your life. Now, if you build a daily practice where you start doing a similar thing every single day, then you can really get a good chance to evaluate yourself and see how you're progressing as well, too. And if you're observing yourself that carefully, you're watching your energy, you're watching your thoughts, you're watching your words, you're watching your breaths, you're watching your foods, you're watching your fluids, you're watching movement, you're watching your movement. And I loved how you were talking about Core Connect, where you were actually getting into positions where all of the core muscles need to activate and fire. and connecting that down to an inhale and exhale breath?
Oh, I'm very passionate about that because, you know, there's a lot of popularity in the breath work community. It's getting super popular, meditation. But, you know, us as physical trainers, I think that there's a certain angle that we can deliver that will get people a more holistic look at it, right? So when we can start breaking it down with the muscular contractions, and we can educate about how if you strain on the inhale, your muscles aren't going to be able to stretch as much, right? If you relax on the inhale, you can take in more air, and the way that we can kind of like for example, I like talking to physical training minded people like bodybuilders because I can get them to understand breathing and core function from a place that they know, you know, where if we talk about the pelvic floor as just another muscle that we're supposed to learn how to stretch and pull and push on, right?
It's a self-awareness. It's a deeper self-awareness to know your pelvic floor and to know your diaphragm action and to know that that's connected to your breath, and those are core muscles, and what that feels like when you inhale deeply into your belly and what's actually going on inside your core.
Yeah.
How those muscles run up your spine, how those muscles affect your posture, the way you're standing. We're all dealing with neck pain, back pain. It's also associated with our lymph nodes where we're dealing with toxicity. So there's a physical element to preparing the body. There's an emotional element to preparing the body. There's a mental element to preparing the body. And this entire thing is about connecting with the spirit element of ourselves.
Wow. And the spirit is the breath. You know, that's amazing. Yes. And so, you know, now I want to, my big dream is to create this 28-day men's mastery challenge where, because we're going to go holistic. I don't want to just talk about how, you know, you can imagine your sexual energy coming up. We're going to start off with 1 week of learning about the body and learning about the chakras in a physical sense, how physical muscular.
So Eastern teachings about the chakras, the 7 chakra system. This is an excellent way. Like, these are just conceptions. There's no right or wrong way. You know, if you don't resonate with one thing, you resonate with another. If it's not the chakras, you may resonate with the glands, because the human physiology and science has glands that associate with all of the chakra centers. And as we're going through this aging process, it's hormonal change that's going on inside of the body. And we need to re-stimulate the hormonal function of the body. And that happens as we raise the frequency of the being. There's a number of things that we can do to raise the frequency of the being. This is what the goal is. A higher frequency being will have a better result in every single aspect of his life. All of his goals will come true.
Wow. Yes. It's a simple way to look at the whole thing, right?
A big picture, an overview. Take a map, a perspective shift. You know, it's look at it from a different point of view, from a point of consciousness, which is of the higher self, where you can look down upon yourself as you are now in the lower space. And you can say, that's not the way that I want to go.
That's literally like what I'm experiencing right now. It's like, and when you talk about raising your frequency, we can even bring that down to earth and say that you're raising the place in your body where you reside, right? Because that's how you can look at raising your frequency. You could say that if you have a low frequency, you reside in your basal chakra as your survival, right?
Your lower energy centers. And what goes on down there and what's associated with that area? It's safety, it's security, it's sexual energy, right? Our solar plexus, the sun within us. Solar plexus. Get that.
Yes, the sun within, man. I like it. I love it. And then knowing that like we can exist in these certain places, like in a different book I was reading, it talks about how like we exist in our head 90% of the day, when we can exist in our lungs, we can exist in our gut, we can exist in our heart, but we don't know that. We think that this is the only place to be, right? You can actually go and spend an hour in your
Learn
lunch,
how to
right?
think differently. Think outside of the box.
Your gut can think. Your gut can make decisions for you, which is for me what quitting weed was. It was a gut snap response. It was a snap decision that I made. I didn't say on March 1st, I'm going to quit weed and then plan for it a month ahead of time. No, it was, I woke up, it was sunny, it was spring, it felt like a new year. And I was like, you know what? I'm done with that. I'm not going to bring this old stuff into the new age that I'm going into. You know, it was just like a very, and the thing about divine timing is like when you relax, things will happen naturally. I've been fighting with weed for like 10 years, trying to force myself to quit it. And, you know, and it's been such a struggle. And when I finally just relaxed and worked on self-love, I came to a point where I choose to leave it behind, not because
That's
I'm
a
forced.
big one. Self-love, self-worth, you know, abundance, worthiness. Where does it come from, Gerald? How do we get it? How do we?
Oh, it was something that got covered up. Like, so your worthiness is buried. And what you have to do is uncover all of the lies that we have believed, that we have gotten programmed into believing, that gets us to think we are unworthy. It's just like discovering that you're God. It's like you just have to keep peeling away at that onion, keep peeling away at all the lies and lies and lies, and then you realize that we're divine. You know, and that's kind of the same journey to self-worth. It's really about unlearning, right? Because we learned all these, right, we learned all these fake stories about how like you're came from a monkey, and we're lucky that we're here because it was a random happenstance of the Big Bang. Like they got us thinking that we're just specks of dust in a universe that doesn't care about us, right? But when you have the
We're just
audacity,
material. We're just material. We're you know, we need protein and we need calories and we need grams and amino acids and we need certain amounts of this, and then we're healthy, and then we're good, and then we're going to be happy, and then if we get married, and then if we have kids, and then if we get a job, and if we earn a certain income and we pay our taxes, then we can go on holidays, and this is joy. But then you get there and you go, you know what? That's not joy.
Yeah, you're not happy, you know? And basically it's we were born worthy. You know what I mean? Like
It's within us.
Yeah, yes, your worth. It's like literally there's gold in you, and we're walking around with gold in us.
We're a treasure. We're a treasure. We just have to be the treasure and resonate, feel the treasure, feel the frequency of that imagination, that female creative mind. Imagine being the treasure in your female mind and create that. Say it with your masculine mind. Say it with your masculine mind and feel it in your feminine mind. You are a treasure.
And that's okay. So now we have some hardcore steps that somebody who's watching has no idea about all this can take. It's, first of all, to realize your worth, you have to tap into that divine feminine, that accepting, feeling, letting the joy in,
feeling the feminine energy. We need to balance these energies in our body. There's two energies here. This is what it's about. This is the crux of it.
And we're overthinking. Obviously, we're overthinking. We're over logical. It's not that the masculine side is bad. It's just off balance. Right? Add in a little bit of heart, add in a little bit of softness. And for me, when I started, because I'm really soft, I'm really emotional, and I'm really sensitive, and I'm now finally getting a handle on that. And the responses that I'm getting from other men is crazy. Right? When you finally start talking about being soft and sensitive, people start reaching out like, thank you for talking about that, man. I feel you. Right? I know you feel me because I saw your old pictures of bodybuilding. I know you know what I'm talking about.
That's amazing, man. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, it's true, you know, and for me, it's just bringing it back to balance. I've been such a hardcore gangster for so long. It's like
centering ourselves,
you know,
grounding ourselves. getting our sunlight, preparing our body. Distilled waters do that. Structured waters do that, right?
Yes.
This is how we prepare our body. We've got to prepare our body. We got to prepare our mind. We have to prepare our word. We have to prepare ourselves physically. We have to remove some toxic things that have gotten into the body. Physical toxins have gotten into the body because, hey, look, we've been here 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. We've been eating 3 times a day. When's the last time you didn't eat for a day?
Right. Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
You know what's crazy is the idea that you're going to have a problem if you don't eat for a day.
Yeah, that is crazy.
That is a distorted thing because people on this planet don't eat.
Yeah.
It's distorted. Over here, we eat 3, 4, 5 times a day, 6 times a day. Some of these bodybuilders, I did it.
And that's the strength of the mind control.
Broken paradigms. Broken paradigms. We got to break these food addictions. We got to break these addictions. These are just thought addictions at their root. They're poor paradigms that we need to step out of. We need to get a different perspective on it. And the way we do it is we step out of the box. We step out of the mind. We step into the consciousness. And we do that with exercise to pick up the frequency. We do that with foods to pick up the frequency. We do it with thoughts, words, and actions to pick up the frequency, like meditation, like managing our sexual energy. That's our root passion energy. Like getting out in the sun, like connecting with Pachamama, Mother Earth, the female, the creative force. Getting in the light of the sun, our God, Father God.
Yeah, our son God. That's right. And so basically what's happening is like we're taking all these topics for me when I first got into it, like these topics were so they're like so surreal, like the idea of meditation and sun gazing. What happens is as we like learn the connections between basically we learn that the eastern side of the world had maps already. They already had so many maps of what we're kind of rediscovering, right? And it's bringing it from something that's far away.
Knowledge, it's hidden knowledge, but it's there. You got to dig, you got to decipher, you got to look through, but it's there. You can find the way. It's alchemical, isn't it?
Yeah. And the fun part now is that like the people like me and you who have been in this knowledge, we get to create the content and bring it forward. Like for example, like what would I have wanted on my first year of seeking and learning? I get to create that now because there's people who are starting to seek and starting to learn. And I'm at the point where I'm transmuting my sexual energy so that I can pour it into a project to help find the others.
Transmutation, that is human magic. That is the human ability to raise up our frequency of our energy, our sexual energy, to lift up our energy. And that's changing our thoughts, words, and it has a physical bit inside of us. But you know what? We don't even notice it when we're in the throes of coffee and alcohol and heavy foods and, poor relationships or trauma, financial problems, stress and strain. We can't notice the subtle energy of prana. We can't notice the subtle energy of chi, the inner energy of love. We can't feel it inside of ourselves because we're so agitated by the lifestyle that we're trapped in, which is all rolled in a big wheel that's funneled by food, feeding, chewing. It's a bad habit. You know what? Cut it down. If you can get down to a liquid meal a day, 2 liquid meals and 1 solid meal, do something. Reduce the density of your food. Reduce the densities of your meals. Take 1 day a week that you don't eat. Fuck.
I know. I like that. So what I like is making something trendy, right? You can't tell somebody to go climb a tree, right? You can't tell them there's benefits. But if they see people climbing trees, people are just going to start to open up their curiosity about it, right? So if people see like me and you, functioning, and we're just going to go like this, like, I'm not eating today. What are you talking about? Yeah, I'm just not eating today. I do that once a week. If we can start practicing that and just
It's
talking
a
about,
practice. It's always a practice. If you put yourself in that position once a week, every single week, even sometimes you're tired, you still got to go to work when you're tired. You still got to go to work on your goal. You still got to stay empty today. Sometimes you're tired. Sometimes you're energized. Sometimes you ate too much on the weekend. Sometimes you're hungover. You still got to go to work. You still got to go to work on yourself. That means today I got to face not eating or not in this state. If you practice it every single week, you can evaluate yourself. You can observe when you practice. It has to be something that you're practicing daily. That's what a meditation practice is. That's what an exercise practice is. That's what a nutritional practice is. It all is a physical discipline. But this is two things. The physical, the foods, and the practices are for the 3D world, for the physical. It's about fasting there. It's about fasting from the physical things. It's about fasting of thought. It's about fasting of the mental things. It's both. It's about managing myself by managing myself mentally and managing myself physically. So the physical actions are exercise and proper food choices, or no food, fasting, so that I can come to a more still place inside. Because when the body's not digesting, I'm more still. When the body's not more agitated by dense foods, the most dense foods are our fats, our proteins. The least dense foods are fluids, raw juices, fruit juices, and then fruits, and then vegetables, and then more complex starches. And then we're going to get into the heavier meats, more dense foods that have saturated fats. These are bigger molecules. They're more work for the body to digest. Hydrochloric acid is needed to break the bonds of saturated fats. More bile's got to be created. This is all hormonal work on the body. This is work on the organs. This is detoxification for the kidneys. It's more work for the lungs to now breathe this off. This is physical.
Keep it off. Yeah. And you're explaining the aging process. You know what I mean? What we think of as the aging process, you know, is just
we accept, but it's really toxicity. It's not really aging as much as it's toxicity.
Yeah. Yep. Precisely. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Reframe it. We need to reframe it. We need to reword it. I like it. I like what Jazz Moheen says. We have to reword ourselves.
Right. Because from that perspective, it makes it easier for you to know what way we need to go. We need to detox. We don't need to lose weight. Come on. My workplace is a mess, because what I've seen is people eating meat every day, working out every day, and then still getting diagnosed with disease. Like, I started to feel very dishonest, because I'm trying to help people get healthy, but all they're doing is losing weight and gaining toxicity, you know? And so it's like, is there a way to be a fitness trainer who can heal people from disease at the same time? The answer is yes, you know, but not in this mind frame where they have to eat protein every day.
Not in the broken paradigm. Protein, when digested, becomes amino acids. Listen, we can get those amino acids in our fruits and vegetables. We need to get it in live sources. We can't get our proteins from animal proteins. They're dead. The energy that's here on this planet comes from our sun. This is the God sun, Father sun. Okay, that comes down as light. It hits the trees. We get fruits and vegetables. That's the first food. You've got to eat the first food of the sun. The light of the sun, the energy of the sun heals the being. The being is on Mother Earth, who took the light of the sun. The two energies, electromagnetic energy of the being. The light of the sun, the electric energy of our Father God, and the magnetic energy of Mother Earth.
Yep.
The electromagnetic being. We are both mother and father, woman and man. We have to mend this within ourselves. We are the being that has that opportunity. We are the Trinity. It's the Son, God, Father. It's Mother Earth, and it's the being, Jesus. The being is Jesus. The being is the Son of God. God is the Son. And Pachamama is the Mother Earth. And the being is Jesus. This is the Trinity. The being has the power to blend the two forces within, to marry the yin and the yang inside, to bring duality back to its original starting place, the all. In the beginning, we were nothing. Then we became something, an impossible light, a seed from our Son, Father God. That light came to Mother Earth. That light came to Earth and made the fruits and the vegetables. And the animals grew, and the most conscious animal is us. And the only way for us to get here is if a man and a woman come together. It's the only way to enter 3D reality.
Wow, that's true.
When man and woman come together, they come together in love, and they make love. And if they make love, then what does that make us?
Love.
We are love. We have to marry the man and the woman, the mother and father within us.
Man, so important.
We have to marry the Father, Son, and the Mother Earth. We need to ground. We need to get into the light. We need to eat the first foods. We need to sit with emptiness. We need to connect with the energy that's within us. It's our sexual energy. It's our root energy. And we have to, like the Buddha says, we have to challenge our desires. Desires
I love it.
to eat. Sit with it. That's how we develop discipline.
It's been an interesting journey for me trying to use the fruit to raise my frequency while I'm still smoking and drinking and while I'm still watching porn, right? And kind of trying to eat more fruit, but I'm still doing all these other things with the subtle energy. But now, as I say, it only makes sense because I've only learned experience. I've never learned because I read something or because somebody told me something. I learned through making mistakes. And it's a beautiful thing that I went through that. It's a beautiful thing that I now know that you can't try to cover up these shadows, these dark ways, no matter how pretty your fruit pictures look or how nice your abs look.
Gotta take care of the shadow, the lower energy bits of ourselves. We need to work through the traumas, the events that make us feel poor about ourselves, that question our worthiness.
And so now I know what people talk about or what people mean when they say like I paid my dues. You know, like it's like you have to do the work before you can just flaunt apples and oranges and pretend it's all happy-go-lucky, right? I had to dig into these thorns, figure out what traumatized me, reparent myself, reconnect with my inner child.
Coddle yourself a little bit. Give yourself a little bit of love.
Yeah.
Forgive yourself.
Forgive yourself.
Accept. Forgive yourself and forgive all others. Forgive yourself.
By extension.
Forgive all others. Accept all. Take responsibility and take responsible action moving forward with your frequency, with your energy for the time that you have left.
It's a beautiful thing to like to be experiencing that in real time, you know, of like I'm finally getting a handle on these addictions in myself that I've been pointing about for a long time. I've been talking about, but never dealing with it within, you know, and in an effort to help more people, you can't just talk loud, expect that you'll help more people. As soon as I start talking about myself and how I really feel, now I know and I feel I'm helping more people, you know, because I'm talking about the issues.
You're expressing yourself. You're expressing your fractal of light. You're bringing your part of the puzzle to humanity. This is singularity. There is one entity here. There's one entity that's becoming aware of itself. Man and woman are all here in one. Each man has a man and a woman in him. We're androgynous. We're one energy. Singularity. We came from one thing. And we came into two things in 3D reality. We were one thing, the all. It was nothing. From the nothing came one thing, God, a light, which divided into two. Light and material, the earth. It went from the all, nothing, to something. Two things, mother and father. Two energies here that we bring to balance inside of ourselves.
Yes, nice.
That's duality. That's coming to terms with it. That's accepting it. That's being in alignment with it. That's coming to balance with the two energies. It feels like a settling inside of your soul.
Wow. That's pretty much it. Like I've been like walking so slow lately, you know, like just kind of enjoying everything lately. And when you say settling of my soul, that's definitely what I feel now that I've, you know, made that decision to listen to my gut, you know, and it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
We have to follow that inspiration inside of our gut. We have to follow that deep inner energy. We have to invite it up. We have to speak to it. We have to invite it up.
Wow.
It's scared.
I did your reality.
It's scared. It's scared energy. It's gone through trauma. It's been hurt and it's been pressed down. I got to speak to it. I got to invite it up. Right? I got to intentionally lift it.
And let it know that it's okay to come out and play, you know?
Again.
Yes. Yeah, that's so in line with, you know, the childhood trauma that, you know, we all go through things in childhood that teach us that it's unsafe to be open and sensitive, right? And whatever that may look like to other people on the outside, what it looks like to you is the most important thing. This is something I was talking about when I came up with these repressed memories of me being bullied in elementary school. I was bullied by girls who were taller than me, right? And I've been telling myself it was no big deal this whole time. I've been telling myself that just happened. It's nothing. But for some reason, this memory remains, right? And so doing the energy work, getting a Reiki teacher to help guide me into meditation, what happened was the feelings of trauma rose to the surface where I felt this red hot hand on my face, this burning on my face. And what it was when I was in 3rd grade, this girl slapped me in the face and said, if I hit her back, I'm gay. And basically my hands were tied because the whole class was there, and I just took it because I didn't want to be looked at as gay.
Our perception when we're 7 or 8 or 9 is affecting our life.
Yes.
Our perception as a child. When I was 13, I was bullied on the playground, and that's what got me into working out, and I needed to be bigger. I had to resolve that I didn't need to be bigger. I have to stop working out to tear down my body to be bigger. I don't need to be more. I am enough.
Yes.
That's a decision within me and my masculine mind. I am enough. I need to think it and say it in my masculine mind before my female mind will be creative and make it.
Talking your creativity. Huge. That's a huge one because there's
intentionally changing your world. You got to speak into your reality. I am the power. I am the choice. I am the decision maker. I am the creator. That's taking responsibility.
It taking accountability, taking responsibility. It's huge. It's huge. Yeah. Owning all of this shit in your life. Owning all of it because it gives you prime control over improving.
That's acceptance of it. And when you look in the skeleton closet, when you've faced it, the stuff that's scary, the stuff that then it doesn't scare you anymore, then it doesn't own you anymore. That's how you let it go. That's how you transmute it. That's how you lift up the frequency. That's how it comes out of your body. Then you feel a freedom. It's like your flexibility increases. There's a physical change in the body. There's a mental change in the body. There's a habitual change. There's a physical change, a nutritional change. I overcome another aspect of myself. That's how the being rises. Maybe one other chakra comes up or some sort of meridian opens up, or some sort of channel comes free, or the lymph nodes clear. There's a physical aspect to it. There's an emotional aspect to it. There's a mental aspect to it.
Patterns, yep. Mental
It's
thought
physical,
patterns.
it's mental, and it's spiritual. Emotional. You know, whether you say spiritual or emotional, all of this is a part of healing the body and life. This is how the being heals. The being heals from an energy within itself. And it never needs to be afraid of itself or think that there's something inside of itself that's bad. Because everything inside of the being was made from an unconditionally loving source. There's only one force here. From the all, the unconditionally loving force, came that impossible white light. That white light created everything here. Everything here comes from one thing, nothing. The loving source, the all. There's nothing here to be afraid of. You can't make something in physical reality without thinking it. You are the same in the mind of the all, in the mind of an all-loving being. What have you got to be afraid of here?
Wow.
Only what you put in your mind. And you can change your mind in an instant. Mind is just focus, attention, self-awareness. These are all disciplines that we can practice and we can apply with the right thought, with the right word, with the right daily action. Movement, breath, food, unfooding,
yep.
distilled waters, fruits and vegetables, less of the more dense foods, more time in emptiness. We don't need to get our energy from outside. We don't need to nourish ourselves from the outside. We need to nourish ourselves from within.
Yeah, there you go. Yes, sir. Yep. And with everything that you just said, somebody might think that this is all so complicated. Like, oh, I got to raise my frequency. What do I got to eat? What do I got to do? But we can simplify real quick and let them know that a breath is where it's at. You know, slowing down your exhale is the first step. Before you even inhale, get rid of all the old air. That's a solid, good habit to do. Like exhale all the way before you take a breath, right? And when you start doing the breath first, for example, I kind of took a roundabout way of coming to the breath. It's like I did everything else thinking that the breath isn't important because it's just breathing, right? I'm breathing all the time, right? And then you realize that the breath is the way to control your emotion.
It's the foundation.
Yeah, it is.
It's the unity consciousness. It's the piece that we all do. It's where we come together.
Yeah.
And in and an out breath is our interaction with our world. We take in the loving oxygen gift of our universe, and we give back our gift of carbon dioxide to our universe. The nourishment for the trees here.
It's a cycle.
This is a cycle. Every breath is a cycle, a moment. Every breath is a moment of interaction between you and your world. What are you holding in your mind? What is your intent while you breathe? Are you in frustration, in low frequency? Then you know what you're going to be creating as you breathe. With every single breath you take.
Wow. So what are you thinking while you're breathing is huge.
What are you thinking while you're breathing? Affirm, I am the power.
Wow. Yes. Yes. Instead of, for example, breathing to, you know, yeah, I love it. I love it. I'm going to definitely start to check myself of like, yeah, the breath work is powerful. What are you empowering while you're breathing? All right. So if you meditate on certain things, you know.
Eckhart Tolle said the power of now. Eckhart Tolle said the power of now 20 years ago.
Mhm.
You know, it's in the present. The spirit bit, the emotional bit of you is always present. It's always in the present. Do you know what you need right now? You know what brings you to the present more than anything?
What?
The breath.
The breath. Yep. Yep.
The breath brings you to the present. Right now, I'm 50 trillion cells that need to breathe.
Woo! That's right. At any moment you are.
That's what I am always. That's what's really going on. That's the truth. Bring it down. That's physiologically what's going on. You are a 50 trillion cell being that's respirating, taking in oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide. Every breath out is a detoxification of that being. Every breath in is a nourishing, loving breath from the cosmos, from the all.
Yes.
And you steer that light and love through you with your thoughts, with your words, which become your habits, your behaviors, and your actions day to day. Build a practice.
Wow,
Build a daily practice.
That's right, man. For sure. That's the crux of it, right? It doesn't help to spend 2 hours breathing once a month. Like, that's not as powerful as 1 minute every day, because that grows into
do it every day.
Yes.
It's got to be about the love. It's got to foster the love within us. The love is what we are. We are beings of love. We just need to connect with the loving bit. That happens when we step out of the thoughts, the busy mind. We need to step into the loving self. That is the consciousness. Step out of that mind. Do it by focusing on the breath, because the breath doesn't require mind. We need to leave the mind.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
We need to look at ourselves from our higher self. That's our spiritual self. That's our higher frequency. There's no words there.
Mm-hmm.
That's beyond thought. That's beyond word. That's beyond thought. That's beyond word. That's a silent space.
So powerful.
Silent space. You need to meet your life with stillness and silence and love and peace and joy. You need to meet your life with your higher frequency. That's a change of thought. That's a change of word. It's a change of understanding, some new ideas. It's a change of daily practice. That's a connection to the one loving source, the one power that is the creator of all things, that came into reality here and separated into two, masculine and feminine, not good and bad. You are always good.
Yeah.
Always.
I love it.
You are always white.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Dude, thank you so much. This is I'm ready to hit it harder than before. Like I was motivated for this talk, but man.
Brother, the only reason why I could speak like that's because I've been talking to you for 45 minutes.
Hey.
Thanks for lighting my fire, man. Thanks for lighting my fire.
I want to post this on my YouTube.
I want to give it to you to do that. Let's like, comment, and subscribe below to both of our YouTube channels, right?
Yes.
Brother,
Yep.
What a pleasure. You know, we're going to connect at least once a year.
Yep.
I'm committed. I'm committed.
Same here. Hey, thank you, John, so much.
Thank you, brother.
All right.
See you later, man.
See you, man.